but the fire department wouldn't show.
Yeah, there's nothing we can do.
Como's Matt Markovich and another consequence of the homeless crisis.
The fire department and the police just know how to respond to all those fires.
Illegal fires allowed to burn.
On a residential street?
Yeah, I don't make the rules.
So who's making the rules? A Project Seattle report, tonight at 11 on Como 4 TV.
Kick off the new year with the glorious sounds of the Seattle Symphony as they bring Brahms' Third Symphony to the Benaroya Hall stage on January 17th and 18th. Guest conductor Andre Barreco leads the orchestra for Brahms' romantic masterpiece that follows ambitiously in the musical footsteps of Beethoven. A glorious Bach cantata rounds out this sparkling program in the Delta Masterworks series. Join the Seattle Symphony on January 17th and 18th for the best of Brahms. Call the box office or visit seattlesymphony.org to get your tickets today.
All right, we're on Facebook Live, the Ron and Don Show on KIRO Radio. Ron, what are we talking about here?
What are we talking about
What are we talking about?
What are we talking about here?
It's Wednesday. Let's jump in the shower and wait. Have some. I can't get it wrong. How about this? Here are my weekly shower thoughts. Is the government open yet? I don't know about you, but I feel really bad for the hundreds of thousands of men and women who will not get a paycheck this week. Regardless of your politics, forcing people to work and then not pay them is just flat out wrong. Speaking of wrong, it's just wrong that there will be no Seahawks game this weekend. Now that the season is over, it's time to start thinking about baseball. Rumor has it that Ichiro might make a comeback next year. I welcome that. The M's will be lucky to win like 40 games this year, and there's only so many bobblehead nights you can do. Ichiro would put some butts in the seats at least. In more serious news, imagine this for a minute, that every 43 hours, a third grader died in our area. How do you think people would respond to that? I think to be freaking out and demanding answers. Well, the new numbers on homeless deaths are in for 2018, and it set a new record. 191 homeless people died in our area last year. That's one every 43 hours. The news landed with a thud of complacency. We can do better than that with this crisis. As we enter uncharted territory in the government shutdown, a silver lining has emerged with some of the national parks. Volunteers have begun to pick up the garbage left behind at some of the most beautiful spots our country has to offer. Parks like Mount Rainier and Yosemite are national treasures, so good job to all the people out there volunteering their time to pack out trash. So we talked about it before. Jeff Bezos and his wife are divorcing. I feel really bad for him. Divorce is brutal. Washington's a community property state, so if you do a strict 50-50 split, Mackenzie stands to get a divorce settlement around $68.5 billion. That's billion with a B, give or take a few hundred million. So Viadume starts in about 2 days. My elaborate plan is to leave 10 minutes earlier. What about you? And finally, the first day of spring is only 70 days away. So we got that going for us, which is nice. That's it for Shower Thoughts this week. See you next time.
Ten minutes early, Trace. Is that going to do it? Or Ron and the Ron? Okay. There you go.
12 minutes early. Didn't you read a book on how they founded the national park system?
I did, yes.
What's it called?
It's called The Big Burn. Yeah. Why are you asking?
Well, because I'm just saying all the people at the national parks have been dumping garbage everywhere, and folks are going out and just taking it upon themselves to clean
Tim Egan, Teddy Roosevelt, turn of the century. Late 1800s, early 1900s, around 1910.
It's a gem.
It's a great book. He's a Northwest writer, and you will read about the biggest forest fire ever in the history of the Northwest. The Big Burn, Tim Egan. You will love it. Over 1,000 men died fighting that fire. And some of them with the newly founded Forest Service by Teddy Roosevelt and the guy you may have heard of, John Muir. How about that? Yeah. Those guys used to travel the country by train and say, wow, this canyon's grand. Let's call it Grand Canyon and federalize it. And they did. And then they went to Mount Rainier and they went, wow, this is a cool snowfield. John Muir thought, I'm going to name it after myself. And so he did. Ron and Don Show on KIRO Radio.